Well, it's not the worst Rob Zombie movie I've watched. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and this is my review of Rob Zombie's first horror film, House of a Thousand Corpses. This movie, again, written and directed by Rob Zombie. It stars Sheri Moon Zombie, Sid Haig, Bill Moseley, and Dwight Schrute himself, Rainn Wilson. This movie centers around two young couples who are traveling across the country to find these mysterious, interesting roadside attractions. They end up running into a family known as the Firefly family, who begin to torment them, and they witness all of these different horrors within inside of this house and within this family. So I decided, with the release of 3 from Hell on DVD, Blu-ray, digital coming up this upcoming week on Tuesday, I decided that I was going to watch all of these Firefly films. I had never seen any of them. The only Rob Zombie films I had seen before this were Halloween, Halloween 2, and 31. And I gotta say, this movie, to be honest, it's not terrible. It's really not terrible. That's the best way I could put it. It's stylistic in the way that Rob Zombie tries to place a lot of these sequences, a lot of these shots. It's very stylistic in the way that he tries to use color correction for certain moments. But my biggest problem with this movie is the fact that he color corrects way too often in this film. He will literally use certain shots, and then he'll have these weird, distinct, like X-ray vision almost look to them, where it just makes it not composed well, and it really makes it look kind of sloppy and messy. And you could tell that somebody who had never directed a film before directed this, because most of the time watching this movie, I felt like I was watching a music video, and that's a problem because Rob Zombie, even though, yes, this is his first directorial film, he shouldn't have all of his films look like music videos or kind of enhanced or long music videos. And that's what this movie felt like, the majority of it, in terms of the way it's shot, in terms of the characters, in terms of just the overall look and the graininess to the film grain. It just doesn't look polished enough to where you can actually put this in and think of it as a film, as a feature-length movie. Let me talk about some good things in this movie, though. I think the acting from certain people are pretty good. Sid Haig is really good as Captain Spaulding. I think he steals the show for me in this film. He's the best part of this movie, the best character in this movie, because he's fully fleshed out, and you get to see the way that he is and how he kind of makes this turn at the end of the film that you kind of don't really expect coming. And then you have Bill Moseley in this movie, who I think is decent. I think he does a decent job in this role playing Otis, but I think that there's a part of this where he's not creepy enough. He needs to play up the scariness to his character a little bit more, because I couldn't buy into the fact that a man like this would truly be this sinister. Sheri Moon Zombie, not a good actress. I'm sorry if some of you guys out there are Sheri Moon Zombie fans, and if Rob Zombie's watching this, I am sorry, but she cannot act to save her life. Everything I have seen her in, she overacts. She's way too hyper. All of her characters are hyper, and that is a problem, because that is not what the character is supposed to be. It is supposed to be a resemblance of this person who is upbeat, a little out there, but kind of is spunky within the family. She is way too overhyper, and that is every single character she plays. She plays it up to a 15 when the character only asks for an 8. And that is my biggest problem with this movie, is Sheri Moon Zombie and her acting, because she makes some interesting choices with the way she takes this character of Baby in this film. I think some of the gore works. I think some of the horror within this film works. But to me, this movie doesn't truly ever feel like a real horror film. It feels like a Halloween film, but it does not feel like a true horror film. Because at times, I feel like Rob Zombie is trying to mix a bunch of different genres into one and kind of bringing it full circle that this movie should be. And it doesn't work. Certain aspects of this movie work, but others don't. In terms of the dialogue, this actually is not bad. Rob Zombie wrote this film, and that I was really skeptical, because his writing ability is terrible, and every other thing that I've seen him do his writing practically sucks. And the dialogue at times can get a little Rob Zombie-ish, but it doesn't go so far over the line where it's just disgusting trash coming out of characters' mouths. And honestly, I thought that the writing aspect of this film was actually not bad for a Rob Zombie film. Probably the best written script that I've seen for a Rob Zombie film. So ultimately, is this movie amazing by any stretch of the imagination? No. Is this a good horror film? Not really. Is there some fun to be had? Yeah, there's some fun. I think there's a lot of cool aspects that they have with this Firefly family. They feel a lot like the Texas Chainsaw family. And so I could definitely feel that vibe from Rob Zombie trying to kind of create his own Texas Chainsaw film. And it works in this aspect because you have all these different types of characters. Some of them are better realized than others. But when you have a cast of characters like this, I think there's a lot of fun. And I think Tiny's a really cool character that they had. I think the grandpa character could have used a lot more screen time. But I enjoyed this movie. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I cannot believe these words are coming out of my mouth. I actually enjoyed this film. It's not terrible. It's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Anyway, what do you guys think of House of a Thousand Corpses? Let me know down below in the comment section of this video. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.